Nzinga, good afternoon to you, and all I can say is that there is an air of excitement and anticipation, and I'm going to show you to my right-hand side, of course, these are some of the family members of those that are due to arrive. According to the board behind me, the plane from Addis Ababa is due to land in the next 2 minutes, and of course some of the family members with placards and balloons really welcoming home the ones that they love and also were quite worried about over the past week or so as they struggled to get clearance to come back home to South Africa. Very instrumental, as you said there just now in your introduction, is of course the gift of the givers who assisted along with the Department of International Relations to get the clearance from the Egyptian authorities for this group to land here. I've got the spokesperson Ali Sablay with me. Ali, good afternoon to you. So there is a very tangible sense of excitement and also, I suppose, relief from the families just in terms of your involvement with this coming home of this group. What has gone into that?
So the family has reached out to us. In fact, the director of the company called our chairman and founder, Dr. Imtiaz Suleiman, when he heard of the evacuation process of the other South Africans that came home last week. He then informed us there's only 2 of his staff still stuck in Cairo. They managed to go take the boat from Port Sudan and reach into Cairo, but unfortunately they did not have permission from the authorities there to exit the boat because the documentation was not in order. Dr. Suleiman then made a call out to Turco, who I have to mention has been very instrumental in the release out of all the SA citizens from Sudan. As we know, it was very difficult situations, getting into the border, working out logistics. So all credit due to them as well for making this process possible. And we can see the excitement building up behind us. These people have been in Sudan since September last year. 2 weeks before the war started, they had indication that there was going to be a war. They then set out to go to Cairo. And when they got to Cairo, they were stuck for 4 days, and we're glad that agony of the families, the agony of those on board, has finally came to an end.
Ali, thank you so much. I'm glad he mentioned agony there because I just spoke to a father of a 25-year-old worker who is also due to arrive here shortly, Marcelino Hearts. He's the father. Gary Hearts joins me now. Mr. Hearts, good afternoon to you. We spoke earlier on and you almost had tears in your eyes when you told me how worried you have been. Explain to us the communication that you have had with your son and also your feeling as in minutes you're really going to see him after seeing him in September last year.
Yes, I was very worried about my son because the moment I heard about the news on that side from what's going on there, I was so worried and I pray every night with the Lord that he can be all right. And I'm so glad he's coming back now for all the things he's going through there. So my heart is getting open and to see him again, I'm glad again.
So I see when I look at the arrivals board behind me that the plane from Addis Ababa is due to have landed or is due to land in the next minute or so. You told me this was Marcelino's first trip abroad, working abroad. What does that mean to you? I mean, to see him after this first voyage of his and of course then the traumatic experiences that he would have gone through.
Ja, ek was baie geworry vir die eerste experience wat hoe is die flight, hoe gaan dit wees? Hy was baie nervous geweest because hulle het hom gesê hy gaan nou vir 3 maande weg maar elke aand het hy maar vir ons gefone en gesê nou I'm happy here, but he didn't know it's go that way there in that place.
Well, Mr. Hearts, we'll keep an eye on you and your family as Marcelino walk through these doors in just a short while. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Of course, we spoke to management of the company, Africa Projects as well, and they, of course, are as equally excited to welcome back their staff. Let me just try and bring in here Mr. Tawfiq Phipps. If you don't mind joining me, Mr. Tawfiq Phipps, just if you don't mind joining me, we're live on air at the moment, SABC News. As your company, you were telling me just now that of course the news of your staff stuck abroad was really a harrowing experience. So we understand that your company deals with shipping or vessel repairs. Talk to us a bit about the process since you realized that your staff may be in some kind of trouble.
Okay, the international company that we work for, they basically gave the directives for us to vacate, so they chartered a boat for us to go from Sudan to Egypt. it was a very frightening ordeal for them, being in Sudan, watching all this fighting going on around them. So yes, for most of them it has been very, very scary.
And as a company, I mean, you would have done all you can to secure and to make sure that your staff arrive home safely with the assistance of the South African government and other agencies.
Yes, especially Gift of the Givers. So we contacted Gift of the Givers and they got hold of the government, and we are very, very grateful to Gift of the Givers and the South African government for what they've done.
Mr. Phipps, thank you so much for your time. Of course, we've heard from a parent, we've heard from the Gift of the Givers, and of course a company representative as they eagerly await the arrival of the group that will be arriving here at Cape Town International Airport shortly.